Hi, I'm Tony Bowen, and welcome to part 3 of my 5-part series, kind of recapping my coverage of the N-Scale convention in Kansas City during June 2025. Well, we started this day with the Swap-A-Rama Train Show. Basically, it's a train show, but it is open just for the attendees until it opens to the general public at noon. And I have always gone on Friday mornings when it's just the attendees. One, because it's less crowded, and a lot of times you'll have manufacturers that'll have things out on their table for you to view and see and ask questions about. And as soon as the train show opens to the general public, a lot of those things disappear where they're not in the public eye. This was a great opportunity for me to visit with Wheels of Time, as I had pre-ordered these Rock Island baggage cars last August and found out they're coming out in July, so I'm patiently waiting for them. It was also a great time to talk with Lowell Smith at Railsmith Models about what's new coming out for N-Scale passenger cars in the next year. Intermountain was there with many of their new items that they're coming out with in the next year, and also some F units that they have done and are continuing to bring back in some different road numbers and names this following year. And always a favorite is Microtrains, talking with Eric Smith about what's possibly coming out in the next year. Of course, Eric is pretty tight-lipped on any of those monthly releases, so I guess we have to wait by patiently every month to find out what's coming out. Atlas also had a lot of things on hand that's coming out here in the next few months and over the next year as well. The big announcement from Scale Trains at the N-Scale convention was the release of the Jeep 40s. And not only the Jeep 40s, but at the manufacturer's breakfast, they also mentioned about doing 60 different versions of the Gevos that would be road number and railroad specific. So that will be interesting to see how those are released over the next few years. And of course, the one big draw of the Swaparama is obviously the train show tables, the vendor tables that have items for sale. Well, I had picked up a few more items that were on my personal shopper list for some other modelers. Said goodbye to Chris Bell, one of my friends who was working the gate for the train show, and also another friend, Sean, and had a quick bite of lunch before Michael and I went on the afternoon layout tours. The first layout we saw on Friday afternoon was John Achison's Santa Fe Argentine division, first and second subdivisions. This is a 25 by 30 N-scale layout. John's layout focuses on the Kansas City to Emporia, Kansas. That's the main focus of operations on his Argentine division. The first and second subs meet at Emporia, with the west traffic heading off from there while the east traffic goes to the Marceline, Missouri. John has approximately 200 feet of main line.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Matter of fact, you can't see it really well without getting really close to the magnifying glass.
The yard down the middle of the layout really is nice, allowing crews on both sides of the yard to make up trains and to depart the yard. John has a helix incorporated in the middle of his layout, being able to access both the decks. And then he has little kind of cutout windows so that you can see where the train is at as it makes its way up or down the helix. And it's nice to know it doesn't happen just to me, that when you have your layout open for public viewing, derailments can happen at any time.
We'll see how well that bicentennial does. Those are not the best units. Intermount. You ever use intermount? Yeah, I know. They make great. They're really tough.
John has a loop that comes across a landing of some of his steps that head down to his basement and then ties right into the rest of the layout. Very well done. Looks very nice as you come down the steps.
Yeah, so it is a reverse loop, but it's a pro-tip. Usually they're like, you have to go 3 miles down. Yeah. Like if I have a train going west and the engines are pointing east, well, you're gonna have to run around the balloon track. And I cleaned it every session. No one uses it. Fine. I got this after the sign. For the one time you go. Yeah. Oh, you know it. Then they'll, hey, I used the balloon track. Got stuck in the back. Fine.
And of course, a layout that is built for operations, it's always neat to check out the dispatcher's area and see if there's any tips or new things added for our own operations on my own layout at home.
Big hug. He's in helix timeout. Yeah, really. No. Dale does. I need him. Yeah, I don't see him. No, you have more than that. No. When I got this house, the first thing I did, the real estate agent, jumping underneath the highest beams, I can actually work down there. As my old house had.
The second layout we visited that day was Rodney Edington's Feather River Canyon. It is a Western Pacific layout that is 26 by 31 feet. The layout is built in kind of a mushroom style where parts of it are on a raised platform, and then you kind of get to lower levels as you get deeper into the layout area. In this area, there were a couple steps down, but from the ceiling you can also see a big reversing loop to turn trains around that's hanging from the ceiling. And Rodney has a helix, a very complex helix added into his layout, where a person can sit in the center and trains can basically diverge off the helix at different levels. As I'm walking through this portion of the layout, you can see to the right side this part of the layout, but then up above you see the backdrop and what is on a second level that is on a raised platform on the other side of the layout. And another reversing loop hanging from the ceiling up there. So, very cool layout.
Yeah, I've learned my father did go layout. He learned.
Oh, okay.
So I always made it. It could always crawl out further than you think. It's always a little more. Yeah, you see this one. You got your daylight versus.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my. What amazes my wife is I will never and I identify it by, I can usually remember the cover, then I can go remember what the cover was that year, and so I get pretty close within a year or two of an article.
Can you do that with Motor Railroader?
Yeah.
After 1980
So I
and before 1990.
Okay. I probably have it then.
Yeah, I just give you a hard time.
No, it's mainly structures that I remember.
Yeah.
Or articles. The interest.
It wasn't the lead article. It was like a
It was articles that I remember. I don't see it. I can build a building of it.
Nope, you're fine.
those. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean by that. Like the ones that you have to, I really want. Indicators. I guess
Come on
that's
around.
That's a pipe.
Watch your step.
So you take away the crew lounge and the bathroom, and you got the size of the layout.
I was looking at the switch engines in the yards. He's got the full roster of VO1000s. Oh yeah.
All of those are still full. And all the white boxes are full.
Yeah.
No, the ones up there that have the rows of foam,
Yeah.
they're all full of cars.
Have you used this or he uses it?
He uses it.
I've never seen that 5 different choices.
And I will say this, and I definitely admire this, Rodney is a tinkerer. There were several things of different projects he had out that you could just tell he's tinkering around, figuring out ways to either get decoders in locomotives that need to have decoders and sound in them and that. And so it was great to see somebody who has the time and just tinkering around to figure out there's a way to make things happen. That's the end of our Friday for the N-Scale convention. That evening, they had the ice cream social and a comedian, but Michael and myself did not attend that. Instead, my dad and stepmom live in the Overland Park area, so we went and had dinner with them. So I hope you've enjoyed this recap of the N-Scale convention. Part 4 will be coming out next week. And as always, happy railroading to you, and thank you for watching.